Hey everyone, Ellie Showstack here. Hope you are doing well. Hey, why are you still single? Don't you just freaking love that question? No, you don't. Here's why you don't love that question, okay? Even though it might be coming from a good place from the people who ask you that, it winds up coming off being very judgmental. So let me give you some funny answers. Okay, self-deprecating at first. Why are you still single? Have you seen how I look? Okay. Why are you still single? Um, I choose to be single because I don't get along well with other humans. That will go over really well. Okay. And then if you want to turn it around and be mean, and of course, I don't suggest you do either of these approaches. Why are you still single? I'm just curious. Are you open to having an intimate relationship with me right now? Okay. Now that might come across very, very weird, especially if it's like a family member who asks you that. Okay. Now, those are some humorous answers. Let me first explain why I'm qualified to answer this question very well. So, for 11 years, I was single, looking for someone to be with, and got asked that question often by well meaning people, usually. Okay. Then, what wound up happening is I got into a healthy relationship and with that person for 20 years, still going strong. And all day, every day, I help singles get into and keep healthy relationships as a relationship coach. Okay. So I understand this question very, very well. And you can actually use this question in order to help you get into a healthy relationship. So listen closely. First and foremost, when the question is asked, and this is sometimes a very quick decision that you need to make, is who is this person asking me this question? If it's a stranger or an acquaintance who you think is being flippant and somewhat of an asshole when they ask it to you, the best response is yes, no response. That's the best response. Okay. Now, truthfully, that's actually the best response in general, but I'm going to give you some other tips moving forward. Now, either way, when a person asks you this question, whether they're coming from a good motive, a negative motive, it's coming from a place of judgment. What's the judgment being made? That being single is not as good as being with someone else. Now, deep down, you might actually feel that that's correct. And that's why you long for this other person. Okay? Hear me out. Hear me out. So, if we've established that it comes from someone who has either a negative motive or is just trying to make conversation and doesn't really care about you, right? Then we smile, nod, and move off. What if it's coming from someone who actually does care about you? What if it's coming from a family member or a friend or an acquaintance that you know has good meaning? What is going through the person's mind when they ask you this question? Why are you still single? Okay? Let's say I don't get it. You're everything. You're so awesome. You're good looking, you're attractive, you're nice, you're kind, you're funny, right? Why are you with all of these wonderful traits not able to get your shit together and be with somebody else? Okay? By the way, I still don't think that you need to respond at all, but it's good information. Why? Most people feel, the world in general feels, and as you've heard this, two is better than one. Okay. Now, that's number one, not necessarily true, right? Especially if the two people who are getting together are not what we call healthy and the interactions are sick, right? But there's also an element in the person's brain judging you for thinking, why are you being so picky? Why are you being so choosy? Why can't you just settle? Now they won't say this, okay, but the majority of people are coming from this place. Why can't you just okay, that's what relationships are, right? You'll have some sex, but for the majority, you might be settling, you might be annoyed, you might get into some, arguments. Okay, but you overlook it. Fine. Just come on. No. That's the answer. No. So when you really look into the question and see that it's coming from a place of judgment, which is two is better than one, it's better to be with someone, even if there is an element of settling as opposed to being alone, then you understand why this doesn't compute in their brain. It doesn't have to compute for you at all, but you have to see where it's coming from. So, according to their data, according to what they believe in, they view your situation as being wrong. It doesn't make sense. You want to be with somebody else. That's the goal in life. Okay, here's the real goal. And this is why I called my program Find the Right One. The world in general thinks the right one is out there. You need to be with someone else in order for you to be whole, in order for you to be complete. Okay? Bullshit. The right one is you. It has and it always will be. When you come from that approach, and when you're able to say, oh, okay, hold up a second here. I want to be healthy first. And I am viewing this relationship very different than choosing a sofa for my home. Okay. All right. Maybe one part of it is not so bad. So, okay. So I'll go ahead. What is this? This is an intimate relationship that you want to be with someone else. This isn't like settling for. That's why I truly, truly can't stand when people tell people that are quote unquote single, you're being too picky. You're being too choosy. Like, what? Like, what on earth are you saying? This is me spending time letting someone into my life who I feel good about myself. And I don't want to be with somebody who is okay for the most part, but unhealthy in this regard, unhealthy in that regard. You can believe whatever it is the hell that you want to believe. But this is not going to get me to the goal of first myself being healthy and then getting into something healthy and keeping something healthy. So you can learn a lot by the motive or the thought patterns or the viewpoints or the beliefs of the person asking you this question. Why are you still single? You can also get to the point where you don't even get angry at it. That's a very, very high level to be at, number one. And number two, by the way, you have a really great shot at being with someone healthy very quickly when you're able to get to that level because you realize that life is about much more than what this other person thinks you should be when it comes to living your life. Hope you enjoyed. Have an awesome day.